Right guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. In this one I'm just going to be showing you how to change your rear wheel bearings in your Mavic Aksium rear hub. So that's a disc brake hub. So let's go ahead, I'll run through the steps. Right, so here we have the hub. So this is a 142 by 12 through axle, 6 bolt, as you can see, disc hub. So yours could be a quick release hub as well, so the end caps, same principle. If it's a quick release, the way of removing the caps off the end. So let's go ahead, let's strip it down. Right, so the first thing we need to do is remove the end cap off the Freehub side there, and the end cap off the opposite side, like that. So what you want to do is get some soft jaws in a vise, and then put your wheel in, like so, and then clamp it up. Now these can be sometimes quite stiff to remove, so what you want to do is grab hold of either side of the wheel rim and then rock it and pull up at the same time, and you should be able to pop it off like that. And then once you remove that, what you can do is, with the opposite end where the disc would be, the cap on the end there, which is just more like a cover on there than an actual end cap, clamp that in there like that, and wiggle it side to side as you're pulling it, and you remove that like so. So that's both of the caps removed from the ends. So ready for the next step. Right, so the next step is we're on the disc side, as you can see, and the cap that's on there, the cover, has got a hole there and a hole there. So what you want to do is get yourself a small screwdriver that just fit in that hole, and then put the one on the other side if you have to, and then just pull up on them to remove that cap. Right, so what we do, put the screwdrivers in like that, and then just pull up on it like that. So it removes the cover, as you can see. Now we're ready for the next step. So what you've got then is a circlip in here, or snap ring, whatever you want to call it. So to get on that, to remove it, you need a pair of circlip pliers like so to remove it. So what you want to do is get your pliers so they're angled like that. So you just prise it apart like so, then lift it up like that, gently put it down, make sure you don't lose the clip. And then what you've got is a washer there, a spring washer that comes out like that under the circlip. And that's that side removed. Now you can see the bearing just sat there in there. So what we'll do is we go ahead and remove the Freehub body. So to remove the Freehub body, because you got the end cap off, now you can just pop that off like that, and then if you remove that, slide it off. Then what you've got is your spring and one of your ratchets there. Just put them to one side, and then up inside there there's another ratchet just there, as you can see, just sat there. So if you just give it a tap on there, you should be able to get the other ratchet out in there. And just be careful, because sometimes there's rubber seal there, and sometimes that can be left up in there without you noticing it, and it just belongs in the back of the ratchet there. So that's the one that goes on like that. So once you've got that off, you can just push the axle through from the disc side. Just push it through like that, and it comes out. You can just slide it out of the bearings like that. So you're just left with the axle. You can see the bearing in there, Freehub side and the bearing on the disc side. Right, so this is the Freehub's end now. So you can lie your wheel on the floor to do this, or you can just clamp it. If you've got your disc removed, you just clamp it just where the disc would be. Just gently clamp it in there. And now, looking at this, what you've got is a seal there, rubber seal, as you can see there. So what you need to do is just remove that, like so. So that's the rubber seal. And then inside here, I'll try and show it best I can. If you see just there, there's a ring there, a silver piece. It's in here. One end just there is more pointed, and that end just there is flat. So the more pointed end there, I'll show you in a minute. We need to hook that out to get that ring, like a snap ring almost, out of the way. So I've got the end of it there, you can see, and then it just comes out like that. So there it is. So you work from this end first, just by flicking it out like that with this, just so as it moves it inward a bit, and then with that just get the end of it and flick it up so as it will come out. To put that to one side, and then what you can do now is the piece that's in there with the teeth on it for the ratchet mechanism, that comes up out, so you can just hook it, get a screwdriver under it in a couple of places, or just lift it up bit by bit, so you can remove it like that. Looks like that, the ratchet in the middle, it just sits down in there. So now that that's out of the way, you can see the bearing, so I'll just show you it more closely. So there's the bearing down inside, and that was just sat in there like so. Obviously you can see how it sits in there, just sits down in there like that. Just lift that up out, and then you can see the bearing in there. So what we do is we go ahead and remove this side and the disc side now. Right, so this is the Freehub side. So all we do is get a punch like that, put it down through and rest it on the bearing that's down on the disc side. So you just rest it on there and just tap it out, crisscross pattern, so it comes out straight, you're not hitting it out at an angle or anything. So there we have the bearing there. So to remove the bearing out the Freehub side, what we do is get a block of wood like this. We can use it for both sides, but obviously we can't clamp, you couldn't clamp your wheel in the vise there because it have the spokes in the way. This side you can, because if you remove the disc you can just clamp it just there like I had it a minute ago, so it won't affect if the spokes are in the way or not. So what you do is, if you get your wheel, put it down, Freehub side down like that, and get your punch again, you can see the bearing easily down in there. So what you're going to do, hit it out again, same method, just crisscross. So there's the bearing there, out of the Freehub side. So now you've got an empty hub. So what you can do is degrease that, clean it all up, any old grease and dirt in there, and then ready to refit the bearings. Right, so when it comes to reinstalling the bearings, what you want to do is get yourself a couple of quality bearings from well-known manufacturers. Don't ever use cheap bearings because you waste your time. If you go into this trouble to do the bearings, then make sure they're quality bearings, because the cheap ones just don't last. So what you want to do first of all, after you clean the hub up and everything, is just get some grease and put a smear around where the bearing's going to sit, and the same in the opposite end as well. Just put a coat round there like that. And now when it comes to putting the bearings back in, there's a couple of different ways. If you've got a bearing press, then all you've got to do is put some grease around the outside of the bearing, put it in position, and the same on that side. Just pop it into position, make sure it's going in square, and then just get your press, put it through like that. Put your adapter on the other end and you can push them in, put your handle on, screw it up and wind the bearings in. If you've got a press and you want to buy one, then you can do it that way. If you don't want to purchase a press just to do this, because you don't need any special tools to do it with, then what you want to do is we'll start with the Freehub side. What I'll do is get the bearing like you would if you was pressing it in, put grease around the outside of it like that, put some grease on the back, the seal, that the side you're not going to see that's inside the hub, it's going to be facing down inside. Put grease over that just to help keep the water out, because it's just the water and the grit and the dirt that ruins the bearings in the first place. So you want to try and help keep it out if you can. So what you want to do is sit that in there by hand like that to start it off, and then if you get yourself a 22mm socket like that, one of those, and then what you want to do is rest that on the bearing like that. Now when you're hitting on the bearing, never hit where the seal is, like the coloured seal or the black seal there. Don't hit on that because you'll ruin the bearing straight away before you put it in, so never hit there. The socket is exactly the same size as the outside diameter of the bearing, so it's only hitting on the outer edge there. Never hit where the seal is. So you can just line that up on there. And like I said, this is if you haven't got a bearing press and you want to be able to do them at home without buying one, because you don't need one. The bearings aren't in there that tight at all. So you just tap it in like that. Make sure it's going in straight, make sure you check it is and you haven't hit it in crooked. So there's that bearing installed there. So now what you do is spin it over, get your bearing again, put some just grease around it, the side that's going to face down inside the hub. On this side, on the disc side, I'll just put a bit of smear of grease over that, doesn't do it no harm. And we just put the bearing in like that by hand, and then again get your socket, hold it in place, and just gently tap it in. So you have it. That's both bearings installed now, so then we're ready to go ahead and reassemble the axle and the rest of the parts. Right, so first job is to put the axle back through. So what you want to do with that is just put a smear of grease over it, just help it slide through and stop it getting stuck onto the bearings. So just put a bit of grease over there, like so, where the bearing's going to sit. And then what you do is slide it through from the Freehub side. So it goes through this Freehub side, and you can just slide it through like that. It won't go in from the other way because there's a collar just there that stops it, so it'll only go in as soon as it hits there. That's it, it's in position like that. Right, so once you've got the axle back through, what you can do then is just rest it on the vice like so, and just literally just nip it up a little bit with the soft jaws, so it's just got it held there like that. And then we're ready to install the circlip and the parts on the disc side. So what I'll do is I'll just put some grease around the face of the bearing there, like so. Now what we do first is put on your washer, sits on there like so, and then you need your circlip, snap ring, whatever you want to call it. So get that on your pliers ready, and then put it over the axle and just open it out slightly so it goes over, then just push it down. Once you've got it sat on there like that, what you can do then is just get yourself a screwdriver, just to make sure that the clip has actually gone into the slot on the axle. Make sure it's actually in there properly, it's snapped into place. Then you can slide on your collar there for the cover at the end. Just slide that in place like that, and then what you can do, just put a little bit of grease on the end, right on the very end there of the axle, and then push on your cap on the end, your cover, in place like that. So that's this side, the disc side reassembled. So we go ahead and just do the Freehub side. Right, so on the Freehub side we just put some grease down in there on top of the bearing. Then we get the ring for the ratchet and drop that in place. Just locate that in there. Push it down in. And then you want your snap ring that's going to sit in there to hold it in. So you lower that down in there like that, and then just need to get it in place. So you can just use a little screwdriver, just lower it in, get one end in there and just work your way around and get it located into position all the way around like that. And then we're ready to put in the rubber seal. So the rubber seal like that, so it goes flat side down like so. So I'll just put a bit of grease where it's going to sit in there, and we just slide that down like that, and it should just easily push into position like so. So once you've got that in there, you get your ratchet with the rubber seal on it. Make sure that's actually pushed in, it just comes out like that. So push that into place and put a light coat of grease on the ratchet, then that goes facing down, rubber facing down. Just drop that in to position. Then we just put a bit of grease over the actual shaft itself. Just get the other ratchet, put that on, just locate it against the other one. Then you've got your spring, which just sits inside the ratchet there. Then the Freehub body, just slide that over like that and push down, just locate it in. Then we got the end cap, just put a bit of grease round inside the end cap there, light smear like that, and locate that on there and just push it on, pop it into place like that. So there's the hub complete, new bearings, wheel bearings in, reassembled. So I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more cycle related content. Till next one, ride safe and I'll see you then.